Greetings, chess players! My name is Chris Torres. This is Daily Chess Musings, and tonight is a special event. It is a birthday simul for me. My birthday was actually December 18th. However, in California, we were having our state grade level chess championship. I was there, as was were a lot of my students. And so I didn't want any overlap with that. So tonight we're doing the Birthday Simul. This is an annual tradition that goes back some 20 years. I've always played chess against my students on my birthday. So what I'm going to do is send out some challenges to the first several students who said they wanted to participate. Then once I get those games going, if anybody else wants to join, they're more than welcome to. All right. So first things first, I go to play a friend, and let me get a pen or a pencil. And I'm going to send a 30-minute, let's see. And I wanted it non-rated, Megan. Is there, oh, here's the button for that. I see it. More time controls. I'm going to do a special 30 minutes with a 5-second increment, because when you're playing multiple boards, 5-second increment's good, and it's my birthday, so I want to take my time and have fun with my broadcast. And why did it? I flipped off rated. All right, is custom 30 seconds with rated.
Did you hit the arrow next to the custom?
I did.
The arrow?
Oh. Ah! Thank you, producer Megan. All right, and our first challenge is being sent right now. I'm going to challenge several other people while I'm waiting for our friends to accept. Play. And now I have to do this whole process up. He accepted. Good job. So I am underway with Avian Magic, and as it goes, I need to play a couple moves so that we don't get timed out on chess.com. Having to do a couple things at once is always tricky, but once it's up and running, then the simul system, see, he could abort in 36 seconds if he, there he goes, good. And then knight f3. And now we should be past the abort thing if he makes his move, and so I can go ahead and try and set up another one real fast. Let's see how fast I can. And then he makes his move. All right, I'm going to keep it super friendly in this game and just play knight c3, 4 knights opening, because I'm trying to get another game going. And let's see, play a friend, and it's going to pop up and mess me up again, Megan, because this is what happens. Yeah, it does. All right. Hopefully I get this to go. I've done it in the past. It's a little bit of a... Look, I want to play... I know it's my turn there. Megan, it's not letting me send, so I go to play. I've already messed up my simul.
Play a friend.
Yeah, and it won't let me, see? It goes right back before I can... Let me go to new game. All right, we'll do it this way. Play a friend, and then cool. I'm making.
You can type in the search bar.
Yeah. Oops. I have a lot of friends, so. Why are they not showing up in my suggestions? Well, this is why. There we go. All right, so I'm going to get this going. And now I need to click the unrated thing off and go to time controls. It's a little bit of a process getting these things going, but I'm well on my way now, I think. I'm remembering what it was that and then 30 minutes with a 5-second increment. And then I hit the arrow to the side. And 30 and 5 and play. Alright, so this game should be getting started now too. Getting all my games going is going to be tricky, for sure. So Anirudh needs to I'm going to go ahead and just bring my bishop out so I play a move against Avian Magic. And then new game. It's not letting me do a new game until... Oh, here we go. And yes, I want to do a 30 and 5. Good job. And I want to play a friend. And I want to go to my next. There he is. And, oh, good. It's easier this time, Megan. They figured out what I want. All right, so I'm still waiting on Anirudh Gear. You got to hurry up and accept. And against Avian, I am up. Hoop Crowd accepted. Super. So I got my second game going. I'm gonna. What am I gonna? I'm gonna go ahead and play D3. All right. And then against Hoopkrat, I'm going to do a Russian game. And now let me go ahead and try.
Go new game over there.
New game, thank you, Megan. Because I got to be fast. Play a friend. But it's saved it now. So it understands that I'm trying to do a simul. And that's exciting. Hoopkrat wants to play a 4 knights against me is also, okay. Normally I'd be mixing it up a little bit more, but I'm also... all right, so and I hit play here. Did I do that right? Can't create a challenge because either... Okay, I wonder what that was about. Not sure. Play a friend. Maybe he's in another game, even though he's not supposed to be. Let's see. Let's try... And... Alright, I got sent out to Spider-Man Hot Dog. And I'm going to try the other guy. Alright, so Hoopkrat castled. Alright. Spider-Man Hot Dog accepts. Super! Super. Let's switch things up a little bit. I'm getting too many 4 knights going already, so I'm going to maybe choose something equally as dull with the D4. No, I can't accept a 10-minute keys. Let me fix this. Play a friend now that he's free. Obviously, because he's sending me a challenge. And boom. Boom. All right. Getting all the work done. Oh, Keys 2003 is accepted, I guess. Cool. Against Hoopkrat, what should I do? What should I do? I'll go ahead and play the pin. And yeah. What? Where do I see all my games? Because it seems like I'm only...
Did you try clicking games?
I will in a second, yeah. There's, I'm just wondering what happened to Avi and Magic. Don't know. Alright. Here's keys. Alright, so yeah. And then Hoopkrat. But it seems like maybe I lost a player. And
click on games and see what it says.
Nope.
Try open. No, right. Yeah, there.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. So we are okay. I got all my games still. At least the 4 that I started. Alright.
Weren't you supposed to have 5?
Yes, but one of the players did not accept.
Oh. Okay, well you can try him again in a minute.
I will try him again in a minute.
Was that T?
No. Alright. And go ahead and castle there. This goes here. Thanks for making sure I got set up, Megan. I appreciate it. So Avian Magic brings his bishop out to b7, but I think I'm going to take this rook here. It just seems like a good exchange for me. And then let us see. This was a 4 knights game, supposedly. He took my knight on c6. I see. I see what's happened. I'm going to go ahead and put a question to the bishop. And then this is a queen's pawn game, so I'm going to interpose with my own bishop here. Against Hoopkrat, I think I'm going to bring my queen out here. Guys, remember, don't rush. We're not in a rush in these games, right? And he moves his bishop out of the threat, Spider-Man Hot Dog does. I want to get castled, so I'm going to move this up. So it's a pure London. And then against Keys, it looks like we're getting a Scotch game started. How fun. Let's see. I'll go ahead and take. And then the queen goes to f8 in Avian Magic's game, recapturing. I'm ahead material, so I should totally just get castled. And let's see. Again, it's just a London, and my question is going to be: should I put the bishop on e2 or d3? And I'm going to go with e2 so that that knight's not pinned anymore. A lot of people are playing pretty fast here. Pretty fast indeed. Hoopkrat plays rook e1. I need to get my broadcasting game going a little bit better, guys. This broadcast is off to a little bit of a rough start because I was doing too much multitasking. And of course, playing a simul is also multitasking. So multitasking and multitasking. let us see. What do I want to do? I mean, I could expose his king, but we would trade queens as well. And so the exposing of the king isn't super valuable to me against Hoopcrat. Let me look at my games. I'll come back to this one in a moment. Let's look at all my games. It looks like it's my move in most games right now, and that's fair enough. My time is a ticking. Let's see what's going on with keys here. I'm gonna go ahead and go for some aggressive stuff. Queen to h4 there. Against Avian Magic, he advances a pawn, controlling b5. See what's happening in my game with Spider-Man Hot Dog. He's doing just fine. I castle, and then back to my game with Avian Magic. I mean, looks like I can just take this, right? So I think I probably will. Okay. And then back to Hoopcrat. I'm trying to make my decision here. There's a weak pawn on b7. I could expose, but I would rather than expose my opponent's king at the expense of trading queens, I'd rather keep some pieces on the board. In which case, I am going to move my F-Rook into the same file as my opponent's queen. Spider-Man Hot Dog's doing just fine. I can grab some free space against him there, no problem. Then Avian Magic says, go away. Go away, Mr. Knight. But there's a problem. There's a problem, and that is I'm threatening f7 twice. Once with a knight, once with a bishop. It's defended twice, but that's with a king and queen. So I'm going to go ahead and take there. And then Spider-Man Hot Dog. You're defending your bishop rather than moving it. That's kind of odd. I'll get back to that in a moment. Let's get over to what is Keys doing? He's giving me a free knight, it looks like. Alright, so he didn't know the Steinitz variation of the Scotch game very well. I go ahead and take there. And inadvertently, I have an hour. I should have started my simul at 8, maybe, is what I'm thinking. Maybe I messed up the timing, but I'm sure I can find some things for us to look at during our power hour on chess.com, ChessTv. Well, I'm going to win a bishop, it looks like, right? So, as long as I'm going to win a bishop, let's do some preemptive trading first. And Hoopcrat is giving me a pretty good game so far, as I would expect from him. He almost always does. Looks like he's preparing to play b4, so I'm going to play a5. Alright, so here's one trade. But I'm going to take with the pawn, so I'm threatening the knight and the queen. And then against Avian Magic, this is one of those really mean tactics. I've got what we call a discovered check, and then attack on the queen as well, right? And then Spider-Man Hot Dog, he moved his rook. Not so hot. And let's see. I think I'm gonna... Should I take the bishop first or the knight? I'm gonna take the knight with the pawn here. Hoopkrat, you're playing a pretty good game against me. I like what you're doing so far. Spider-Man Hot Dog, you are exposed, and another piece is leaving the board. And then Keys 2003, you moved your knight out of the way threatening, but now I can take it and say check. And then let's see. Spider-Man Hot Dog, I could take your bishop, but it's still trapped, so I'm just going to leave it trapped. I think what I'm going to do is bring my queen out and over, and then do so out, over, and then move the bishop here so that the queen is saying check to the king, right? Right. I think afterwards I'm just going to open myself up to challenges. Perhaps, or maybe I'll show a couple games. It looks like the simul may finish early. I was hoping to extend it out. All right, so Keys plays queen to f3. If I bring my knight out to develop, I'm actually blocking the return path for my queen. So I'm going to bring my queen out and suggest a trade because I am up material. Spider-Man Hot Dog senses danger. I'll get back to that in a moment. Let's see. Avi Magic's thinking. Keys is thinking. It's my turn in Spider-Man, and it's my turn against Hoopkrat. Let me spend some time on this position. Alright, so the b2 pawn is weak. I'm going to go ahead and move a rook into the file with that pawn. Back to Spider-Man Hot Dog. Let's see, what am I going to do here? I could take the bishop, of course, but I'm looking, towards a checkmating sequence. I don't quite see it, but that's all right. The bishop is just stuck. See, this bishop on a5 is just stuck, so I don't need to do anything right away with that, actually. I am going to go ahead and play this check. And then here we are against Hoopkrat. He pushes to d4. His knight is guarding b2. It's a knight on the rim. It's not where he wants his knight, but it is guarding b2 nonetheless. Looking at removal the guard type strategies. Otherwise, it looks like I can win a center pawn by doing this exchange over here. It looks like I can, because bishop takes f3, then queen takes, pawn takes, then pawn takes. So bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes, pawn takes, pawn takes, and then bishop takes. Yeah, so I think I'm going to go that route. And then this is not the way that Spider-Man Hot Dog wanted to get out of the check, I don't think. E7 may have actually been safer. I'm going to move my queen into the file with his king. And Keys avoids trading queens with me. Wise choice. Wise choice. Good job. You're down material. You don't want to trade queens. And I'm going to set up a threat on the center pawn and a threat on the queen. Spider-Man Hot Dog senses danger. and is saying, let's trade queens. I'd really like to do a checkmate with my bishop and queen. However, it might be good to pull my bishop back, right, to f4. And then I can always move the light bishop out of the way with the discovered check. Reminder that these games are going to be moving to chess.com, ChessTv very soon. I believe 8 o'clock. We'll be watching the featured on the big show for my birthday simul. Thank you to everybody who I'll send. Let's see. Let me send Anna Rude one more chance. I was going to try and remember to do that, right? If anybody tunes in on Twitch and wants to play, I can arrange it. Let me make sure I'm typing this in right. I am not. That would explain it. Alright, let me try Anna Rude one more time. And here you go. Maybe we get you started. That would certainly help fill in the complete hour. And in the meantime, I'm gonna move my bishop back. Oh, Anna Rude accepted. This is good news, ladies and gentlemen. Good news indeed. All right. So I'll go ahead and start with d4 on this one as well. Spider-Man hot dog, that was a pretty big mistake. Big mistake. Because your queen's under attack, plus I have a check I can throw in there. But that's okay. It's all about learning and joining me to celebrate my my birthday. So I thank everybody who did. And then I need to play some moves against Anna Rude Geyer to keep the game rolling. I'll get to the other ones in a moment. Alright, and they want me to make a move there. I don't blame them. Let's see what's happening here. That's right. I had said check, and it is time to scoop up the queen on that one. Yeah, I certainly don't have my best broadcasting brain going because I'm multitasking. I probably should have done, a practice simul, so I could get the used to the switching and keep my frame of mind. That would have been useful. I like to run practice. I've done it with tournaments before. Alright. And at least we got a fresh game with Anna Rude. And we're getting close. I think all our games are going to be going when we do the official switch, and I will kind of restart. I'm not going to leave, but I'm going to restart the broadcast at 8. So just kind of reintroduce myself and what we're doing. I better look at my hoop crap game though. That's for sure. All right, so I was going to do this, yeah. And then let's see, which games am I lowest on time? That's a good thing to keep an eye on. Let's see what's happening in the Keys game. Oh, he moved his queen out of the threat. Good for you. And he's threatening a pawn as well. Interesting. All right, so I'm going to take care of the threat of the pawn and threaten the queen. And then somebody's spamming my Twitch. No big deal, though. Nothing inappropriate, just some kind of offer. Let's see. I'm seeing which games I want to turn to, because I'm trying to keep all the games live. So when we switch to chess.com, all games are still going. I'm gonna bring my queen out and threaten a knight there. And looks like we are nearly live on chess.com. So I will be let's see what's going on in my Anirudh Geyer game. Interesting early pawn push. Generally, our opening goals are pawn and center, castle, unify rooks. H5 doesn't help with that, but might help. I'm going to go ahead and attack this bishop, see what happens there. And I believe, let me make sure, I'm going to check my, it is 8 o'clock, so greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris Torres. This is Daily Chess Musings, and I am in the middle of a simultaneous exhibition on my birthday. It is a long-standing tradition that I play a game against a lot of students who want to play or friends on my birthday. If you want to join in on the simul, you're more than welcome to. All you need to do is type your chess.com username. Send me a friend request to Coach Tortoise. Coach Tortoise is my name on chess.com. Send me a friend request. And then let me know your username, and I will send you a challenge. We are playing 30 minutes with a 5-second increment. Alternatively, I guess you could just send Coach Tortoise a 30-minute challenge, and I will accept. My birthday was actually December 18th, but we were having the Cal Chess grade level championships that day, so we didn't want to. Thanks, Keys 2003. We didn't want to interfere and cause a issue of overlap with the Cal Chess State Championship, of course. So I'm doing my my normal Tuesday night class with a few of my students while doing the simul for my birthday. All right, having said all that, let's see, what should I do? Oh yeah, I was going to win a, let me rewind a little bit because you just joined. So right here I saw an opportunity to do a capture, 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 win a pawn, right? So that's where we are in the scheme of the sequence of moves. And then looks like I could win a queen, or I could say check against Spider-Man Hot Dog. I'm going to go ahead and actually say check. Hoopkrat plays d4 as expected, and I take. And now Keys 2003. This is an interesting. It started as a Scotch game Steinitz. I got up a piece, but Keys has got me in a tricky position. We'll see how this plays out. I think best is to just take the center pawn now, and I will. So yeah, if you want to join the Simul, go ahead, send Coach Tortoise a 30-minute challenge. And this was a good move, Avi and Magic. So you're defending against checkmate, simultaneously as threatening my queen. So I need to go away. I got to leave. Should I go here though? And then I can threaten checkmate there. I mean, he can just move the knight, right? So I think I'm gonna be wise and come on down here. And then okay, so now I will I take the queen, or do I have a fancy kind of checkmating sequence? I don't quite have the fancy checkmate, so I'm just going to take the queen. Hoopkrat moves and attacks my bishop. But remember, his knight was guarding b2. Well, my bishop is attacking it and my rook, so I'm going to go ahead and take b2 as well. And there's no need to lose my bishop here. This bishop is trapped anyways. I'm going to bring my bishop back. Knight goes there, rook goes up. So I'm 2 pawns up, I believe, against Hoopkrat. And then Keys made his move. Let me see about Anirudh's game. Got to make sure I'm making... Oh, he backed his bishop up. Okay. I'm going to continue with my Tory attack structure. Spider-Man hot dog. Did I just lose a piece? No, I lost a pawn. Okay. All right. As long as I didn't lose a piece. But that I did make a mistake. Wow. Wow, I did. Good. That makes it a little bit more exciting. All right. So the rook's threatening my bishop. If I take his bishop, he'll take mine, and then he's threatening my knight as well. All right. I could do this. But I think, let's see here, let's see. Yeah, he took c3, so I'm going to go ahead and take his bishop. Now, this was a good push, because if I take, obviously it's pinned to my rook down here, right? Because my rooks are not coordinated right now, and Hoopkrat's rooks are coordinated. So good job, Hoopkrat. That was a smart move on your part. Let's get Anirudh Geyer a little further along, though. Oh, wait. I better, you know what? No, don't fool around with that, Chris. You're low on time against Mr. Hoopkrat. You don't want to lose on time. You got to remember these things. All right. Let's start finishing these things up, because you are starting to get low on time. I was doing a lot of setup to get the Simul going, so I am down a little bit on time. This is to be expected. It's part of the fun. Hoopkrat is playing faster for sure. I'm going to go ahead and unify my rooks. And then I'm going to take down there. He backs up. All right, and I'm going to go for a snazzy little checkmate here with the knight, because the king's cornered. And then let's see, what's my time here against Avi and Magic? I have to start. See, he did move his knight, so my threat of checkmate was not going to work very good. I'm going to get both pawns in the center, and here's this snazzy little checkmate. So good game. Yeah, good game, Spider-Man hot dog. The screen changed real fast, but yeah, that's a nice little checkmate, right? No, we don't want to go to game review. Let's go to games. Now is not the time to do review. We could do that maybe later if we have time. Let's go back to Keys. Oh, so he's counter-threatening me, but the problem is, yeah, queens do go backwards. But, you know, had I pre-moved, man, I would have been sad. Pre-moving is dangerous. Hey, looks like he's attempting to get a passed pawn here. Not a bad strategy at all. Not a bad strategy at all. I'm going to move my king one step closer because I have time to do this. Time meaning on the board, not time any other definition like on the clock time. I'm going to go ahead and attack the rook that he just put there. I have to start moving faster in these games, obviously, and they switch, and it's not like a over the board simul because it switches around out of order, so you kind of lose track of what is happening. I'm gonna go ahead and scoot. Am I really? Yeah, I am. Okay. And then Hoopkrat goes there, so I take, and then he's going to take with his pawn is what I'm predicting. And then, all right, and then we're here with keys. So action's starting to get a little faster. Does this tactic work? I think it does. I think it does. Yep, and then my king's going to blockade this pawn. It's very important to blockade this pawn. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Let me make sure I'm watching my clocks. Let's see, where am I most low on time? And are any of those clocks ticking? None of those clocks are ticking right up. Having said that, now they are. Now they are ticking. Let's see. I could take the rook. I could. This was a interesting move. Interesting move. I'm going to go ahead and take. If he takes back, I'll push the pawn. If he takes back with his bishop. What am I? 545 here. This is a little bit dangerous. Is he setting up some kind of double attack? Possibly. And just as we thought, keys, good move. I block the attack, and then back over here. Not sure what this knight's doing out there on a6. I could take with my bishop, mess up the pawn structure, but I don't see that I need to right now because it can't go anywhere. Now I'm gonna try and coordinate my rooks in the 7th rank. This is my next goal. And then I take like this. It looks like I just got followed. Thank you for the new follow. Mr. Josko, if you want to play, you can send me a 30-minute challenge. My name is Coach Tortoise. Coach Tortoise. Anybody who wants to play in my birthday simul, go ahead and send me a 30-minute challenge. And I will go ahead and accept. I'm going to back up this way. And then take here. And then let's see, making sure my low situation clocks aren't causing me too much trouble. I'm gonna go over there. Yep, here we go. And then, like I said, my plan. This is a little dangerous, though, right? I mean, it's a little bit. Let's see. Thanks for giving me a follow, Meanex Face. I appreciate it. So if I bring my rook up, hey, Meanex Face, you can send me a challenge. My name is Coach Tortoise on chess.com, and join the simul if you want. So this threat is a real deal, because if he takes here, he'll take there, say check, and then this is very advanced, right? I'm going to go ahead and defend this pawn. I wanted to double up in the 7th rank, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure that works. Cool move, Keys. If I take, you'd get my queen. So good job spotting a A neat little tactic. Good for you. I'm going to castle. And then here, good game, Avi and Magic. You played really good tonight. Um, excellent job, my friend. I will see you Thursday. Let's see. Looks like I got 3 minutes and 40 seconds against Hoopkrat. 3 minutes. I got 3 games going. You know what, Mean Face, anybody is welcome. If you want to, that's fine. If you don't, if you just want to watch, that's fine too. We don't judge here. It's all about just friendly fun, and our community supports each other in our goals of improving at chess. So it's all just about. Like I said, friendly fun, camaraderie, improving in chess. Wow, there's a lot of tactics here. My goodness. I'm going to get rid of that bishop and then get here. But I'm glad to have you on board in any capacity. Check out the Daily Chess Musings Club on chess.com. You can join it. We have a lot of free and fun events there. Any capacity. If you want to play in the simul, that's fine. If you just want to watch and hang out, that's fine too. My name is Chris Torres. I've been teaching scholastic chess for 25 years, and I am a correspondence chess master. And I'm also running low on time in a couple games. Okay. I'll take care. So I got to focus. And thank you for the happy birthday wish. Wonderful. It's very kind of you. Down to 2 minutes against Mr. Keys. How exciting. Let's start getting our rook involved. Down to 3 minutes in this game. And I'm going to start advancing my outside pass pawn. And this is a mistake. That knight was pinned, so bishop takes queen. Keys is getting tricky, just like I would expect him to. He got a little thrown off by my opening line I chose, but just as I would expect him to, he's getting super, super tricky. All right, and then, like I said, it's just time to advance this pawn and hold the Hoopkrat's king prisoner in the 8th rank. This power of a rook in the 7th rank, it holds that king prisoner very nicely. And look at this tactic. Look at what Keys is doing here. He's lined up his bishop with my king. Wowee, Mr. Keys. That's quite impressive stuff you got going there. I'm going to go here. This way, if his rook moves, there's no check. Getting low on time, he almost did something. Almost did something quite bad. That would have been very, very bad. Okay, I'm advancing. And let's see, he scoots that forward. All right, I'm gonna scoot this forward, and this is a threat of, checkmate stuff, right? I'm threatening to move my queen up, check, and then over checkmate. Let's see. Okay, so I'm a queen up there. I'm going to go ahead and start exchanging, and then this is checkmate. But Keys, you made it really tricky, dude. You made it really tricky. I appreciate that. Now I can focus on finishing my game with Hoopkrat out, who has also played a very fine game. Everybody, thank you for taking the time to play with me to celebrate my birthday. I really appreciate it. Trading pieces when you're up material. I could move my knight back and threaten his knight, or even better, let's go ahead and develop with a check and a threat there. There's a lot of weakness. He blocks. If I take with the queen, it looks like a nice fork, doesn't it? Of the king and rook, yeah. Looks like I got 2 games left going. Hoopkrat and Anirudh Geyer. Good. He didn't. Had he gone there, I didn't want to win a checkmate like this. Although this looks like it leads to checkmate too. And then, okay, so that goes there. And now the trick here is to... The king was stuck in the back rank with the rook. So I say check. And I say check here. And then I will trade and start advancing my other wing pawn. And the white king can't deal with both. Cannot deal with both. So Hoopkrat is my last official game of the Simul. If you want to send me a challenge, a longer game challenge, feel free to, like a 15 and 10 or 30-minute. Otherwise, I'll show you some games maybe. Maybe I'll go through and show some games. I'm finishing up the Simul. And that advances with a check. And then you want to avoid, stalemate kind of things. So if you're a Hoopkrat, you actually want to get rid of this pawn very quickly. Scoot it forward, and I have to take it. And then maybe I goof up and stalemate him, right? There you go. This is how you do it. And now I got to make sure his king has this moves, and it does. See, you always make sure that your opponent's king can. Make sure you spot a couple moves for your opponent's king. And let's make sure that if I scoot forward again or anything, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and play a check. Just because it's easier to, I'm going to push him over into the B file. And I'll probably promote to a rook because it's safer. Hopefully it doesn't auto-promote to a queen. And it did. I thought I turned the auto-promotion off for tonight, but it's all right. I made sure just in case. Just in case. And then move with check to avoid the stalemate. And then it's like a rolling rook. And it's checkmate. Very nice game, Hoopkrat. Very nice game indeed. So I wonder what I'm going to do. Here I am on chess.com TV. I think I'll find a game for us to look at together. How about that? Maybe something you've never seen before. Maybe something I've never looked at or haven't looked at in a long time. That would be fun too. All right, so here's our analysis board. Let me make sure it's showing up just fine and dandy. It is. Great. Great. All right, so let me pull up a game. I have my personal database on my phone. It's private, so I keep it. Yeah, I think we'll look at a new game. So I may be a little rusty when I'm showing it to you because I haven't taught this one. But I came across it the other day. It's a game played by my friend Emory Tate. He was a very good friend of mine, International Master Emory Tate. I spent hours and hours a day with him every day for several years leading up to his untimely death. And we're coming up on his birthday. December 27th is Emory Tate's birthday. He was a December birthday just like I am. And so we'll go ahead and take a look. This game comes from before he was an international master, however. By the way, I have no doubt that Emory Tate could have been a grandmaster. He just did not have his personal affairs organized to accomplish that. Chess talent-wise, he was totally there. Totally there. And, if you go visit my blog at some point, dailychessmusings.com, dailychessmusings.com, you will see very quickly that I have hung out with plenty of world champions and grandmaster chess players. And so I speak from experience when I say that Emory Tate was indeed top-notch. He absolutely was. And the game we're going to look at comes from 1989, so this is a young Emory Tate. This is before he was, a FIDE titled player. And this was played in Germany. Why was Emory Tate in Germany in 1989? You might ask. Let me tell you. So the United States Armed Forces, meaning the National Guard, the Air Force, the Navy, the Army, the Marines, and the, I'm missing one, Coast Guard, there we go. They have a chess championship. So the different branches will find their best player. Emory was in the Air Force. He was an intelligence officer. He went to the famous Monterey Institute of Language Study and learned Russian and fluent Russian in less than 3 weeks. How old am I? I turned 45 this year. And he was also, of course, playing chess. And so he won the Air Force Chess Championship, and then he won the United States Military Chess Championship. And so he got to go to Germany to represent the United States at the NATO Championship, North American Alliance, right? So we know a lot about NATO countries. You hear a lot about this because of the unfortunate stuff that's happening in Ukraine right now. But at any rate, the NATO... I'm getting some interference on my headphones for some reason. A little bit of echo from my own voice. The NATO Championship in 1989, he is playing a guy, Robert J. Kierman, who I believe was a brigadier in the British military. And let's take a look at that game right now. So he was in Germany, 1989, at the NATO Championship. Let's take a look. So Robert is white. Robert J. Kierman. And this is not a famous game, by the way. This, like I said, I pulled something special out for the evening. E4. And Emory played C5. I'm going to go ahead and flip things around since Emory Tate is black and Robert is white. And then Robert plays F4. You guys know what this is called? It's like, it's called the McDonald attack from the McDonald-Le Bourdonnais. Famous match, famous old chess match. The one that Adolf Anderson studied as a boy. Le Bourdonnais played C5 way back when. In the 1700s, played the Sicilian against McDonald, and McDonald played F4. Nowadays, a lot of people don't call it the McDonald attack. They call it the Grand Prix attack because it's fast, right? It's a fast thrust of the F-pawn. So Emory knows what this is for sure. And Emory liked to play the Dragon Sicilian. He was very good at the Dragon. So he plays knight c6. and we'll see how this goes. White plays bishop b5. Now, right here we have some interesting possibilities. Yu Hafan, famous Chinese woman, she's a grandmaster and a women's world champion. Yu Hafan played knight d4 a lot here. And that can get a little bit spicy. Maybe if we have time, we'll look at that. I don't think that's what Emory plays, though. He does not. So if you really wanted to challenge this kind of opening for white, you might, it's the most aggressive move because you're moving your knight forward while threatening their bishop. Emory is kind of setting up his dragon structure. And Emory was very good at the Sicilian dragon. Robert plays bishop takes knight. Interesting, trading an elephant for a horse early. Generally, we discourage young players from doing that because as the game progresses, the elephant will get better than the horse. Why do I call a bishop an elephant? In India, in the original chess game, and in Persia, Shakamat, the original chess games from way back when, it wasn't a bishop, it wasn't an advisor to the king queen. No, it was an elephant and a horse, right? Elephant was a very powerful military weapon. So in an open battlefield, would you rather be riding an elephant or a horse? In an open battlefield, an elephant, right? Very powerful. In a forest, in a thick forest with a lot of trees and things, maybe you want to ride the horse because it's maneuverable. So Emory could go either way, and there's good reasons to go both ways, right? If he takes with his queen's pawn, he's opening more lines for his queen and opening his bishop, right? To get developed faster. If he takes the other way, then he has more ability to play some nice pushes toward the center. Generally speaking, you take back toward the center, but also, generally speaking, you want to develop your pieces quickly. He takes back toward the center. And let's see. White plays knight to f3. Okay. So still, just developing, getting ready to castle. In these kind of Grand Prix attacks, you're going to see a disruption here sometimes, disrupting the fianchetto, or sometimes the knight can use the f4 as a platform to get to g5. Let's see what Emory plays. He plays knight f6. So both sides have one piece developed, and white has a pawn in the center, but black has a pawn on c5, which is controlling a center square, right? So when we really look at it, look at white's pawns. It's controlling one center square here, e5. f4 is controlling e5. e4 is controlling d5, right? But let's look at Emory's pawns. Even though they aren't located in the center, c5 is controlling d4, and c6 is controlling d5. So far, very even game. White gets an extra piece developed, knight c3. I wonder what Emory... I bet you Emory's going to play bishop g7. I bet you he does. Because normally, if you open up the fianchetto, you want to fill it in. You don't want to leave this weak spot. You want to fill it in. This bishop is known as the dragon bishop. Emory would call it the... I taught with him, right? He called it the dragon bishop. Bishop on g7. And he would try very hard in the Sicilian dragon not to trade this bishop, because it's so powerful. And it gets... in the Sicilian dragon, you end up like with the dragon tail as it is. Your pawn structure is pointing toward the queen side. And this bishop, since there's going to be action on the queen side, that bishop, the dragon bishop, gets stronger as the game goes. White castles. Robert, I'll use his name, Robert Kierman castles. And let's see, Emory Tate. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. 7, yeah. Castles as well. Okay. So both sides are castled. Both sides have two pieces developed, and both sides are having pawns that are influencing, controlling two center squares. So very even. Thank you for the follow, Giving Pigeon. White played d3. So this is opening up the pathway for this bishop to come out, obviously. Let's see what Emory plays. Emory plays d6. So here it is, the very typical Sicilian dragon pawn structure that Emory was famous for. So even though his opponent started with the McDonald or Grand Prix attack, if you want to call it that, Emory is not overreacting to the early threats over here. He feels confident that he can defend against the attacks. So we'll find out how it goes. Bishop d2 is what White plays. Developing the bishop. Not very aggressive. And also, but it gets the bishop out of the back row. In chess, you have three opening goals. Pawn in the center, castle, and then make it so your rooks are unified, meaning they can see each other. So these are your basic three opening goals in chess, and moving the bishop forward helps with this. And Emory plays a surprising move here. Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody who's watching? Let's see, we got 44 viewers. Anybody want to take a wild guess as to what Emory might do? I'll give you a moment or two. You can go ahead and type it in chat. I really like this next move. And, Mean X-Face, I'm so glad you watch a ton of Emory Tate's games on YouTube. I have one on there. It is the most popular video I ever posted on the Daily Chess Musings channel. And it is Emory Tate's Immortal Game versus Leonid Udison. Emory plays pawn to c4. Why? What is going on there? Do you see? Doesn't that just lose a pawn? It's clearing the path for this check and fork. Do you see that? By scooting that pawn forward, he's setting up a fork. A check and a fork on b2. So it's a subtle, a lot of people would miss that, especially in a faster time control. But not, to his credit, not Robert Kierman of the British military. No problem, Mean X-Face, this is what I do. Robert Kiernan plays rook b1. So why? So if this check comes, b2 doesn't fall, because you don't want to lose b2. You lose b2, a2 is very weak. So what do you think Emory does? Well, this pawn is in kind of a precarious spot now. So he goes ahead and takes, and this messes up White's nice pawn chain that they had, right? Their pawn chain is messed up now. The back of the pawn chain is advanced. It's an easier target, maybe for like a bishop, right? See how the bishop could easily target that pawn? That's not by accident. Let's see. Oh, in fact, that's what Emory does. I gave it away. I gave it away. Bishop goes to a6, pinning the pawn to the rook. That's a very uncomfortable pin. Very, very uncomfortable pin. It means this knight is glued to this pawn now, because I call it glued. It means it's obligated to defend it because this knight is threatening, and this pawn could not take back without the bishop taking the rook, because this pawn is pinned. So it means the knight on c3 is glued where it is. Let's see what Robert does about that. Robert does something kind of clever. But it doesn't help in his attack, right? He started this McDonald attack, this Grand Prix attack. He's going to move a knight backwards. That knight would like to move closer to the opponent's king, create more threats, not go backwards. All right, but it is defending d3, which is important since it is pinned and under threat, right? You gotta do something about that. I am a correspondence chess master. Thanks for asking, P. Demas. In fact, when I knew Emory, I was a pretty high-level correspondence chess player. We played a lot of games ourselves, some of which I have shared, some I have not. But I have a lot of Emory Tate stories. I spent, a few years, several hours a day with the guy. So the knight goes back to defend the pawn, which needs defending, and it's pinned. And it also maybe sets up a rook elevator, right? Maybe. But that's not the big reason why the knight goes back. The knight didn't want to go back. He needs to defend this pawn so the bishop doesn't take the pawn and fork two rooks. That would be a disaster for white. But black is already defending. This is not what Robert Kiernan wanted when he started this game. I mean, he used a very aggressive opening, the McDonald or Grand Prix attack, right? So what is Emory going to do? Well, I've already stated that this pawn is pinned. So he's going to start kind of overworking things, right? Again, this knight could take, and then this knight could take back, right? Not the pawn, because it's pinned. So Emory Tate pushes to the center now with d5. It's beautiful. A rook elevator means you're moving the rook up above your pawns, the back of your pawns. And then I like to say the third floor, right? Move the rook up, third floor, please. And then the rook could go to the giraffe department or the horse department and attack the king. It's called a rook elevator. Good question. Some people call it a rook lift because elevators are called lifts in England, I believe, which is where Robert Kiernan, let me get his name right, Robert J. Kiernan. He served in the armed forces. I got to get his, British Armed Forces. I should get his name right. And he played a fine game here. So d5, setting up the threat. And so this is being attacked now twice and is really only defended once because this pawn on d3 is pinned. So this is a problem. Let's see. So Robert does something quite wise, but also not so great. Let's see why. He scoots the pawn forward. It relieves the tension, right? But I'm going to tell you a secret about chess. Everybody listen. This is a very useful secret, and that is when you're attacking, you attack in the direction that your pawn chain is pointing. And I'm showing Lucifer Lannister. I am showing a game right now. I would love to have a match, maybe a little bit later, but I'm showing an Emory Tate game, one of my best friends ever, and sharing some Emory Tate stories because his birthday's coming up on December 27th. So what Robert would really like to do is have his pawn chain point toward black's king. Your pawn chain tells you, Emory Tate's on bottom, he is black. His pawn chain points, it dictates where your pieces should go, should be attacking. I'm glad you know his family as well. That's wonderful. However, by relieving the tension here, now his pawn chain is, how should you say, confused, right? In the Grand Prix McDonald attack, you want to be attacking the king. That's the point of pushing f4 early. But now, it looks like this pawn chain might be pointing to the queen side. That is not good for white. So, yes, his pawn chain is confused. He wanted to do a kingside attack. Now his pawns are pointing in the wrong direction. Emory gladly moves his knight. This should not bug Emory at all. It's just a good relocation of the knight. And in fact, pretty soon it's clearing the way for maybe a very powerful, as Emory called it, dragon bishop. Oh, here comes the rook elevator, guys. Rook f3. So white's going with it. It doesn't, it seems a little doomed to fail because there's just not going to be enough power to do a kingside attack because there's no supporting pieces over there. But maybe the rook's also helping to defend d3 and stepping out of the pin, right? So there's other good things about this move other than the rook elevator. White's got some issues that they need to solve. And watch what Emory does. Emory's like, okay, you got to solve some issues. I'm just going to, kind of clean up my side of the board. So now I have a nice, pretty pawn structure. Nice pawn chain here. Whoops, that's not the right arrow. Pointing in the direction of where I can really bring it if I want to. And I think we're going to be seeing maybe c5 soon. This is like a pretty common push to grab more space. We are watching Emory Tate versus Robert J. Kiermeen, played in 1989 in the NATO, North American Alliance Championship, North American Treaty Organization, right? In Germany. And white, yes, this is why Robert moved his rook up, because he wanted to scoot this pawn forward and secure more space. So white's strategy has very much changed. White is just going to have more space and then can move to the king side or the queen side faster than black. That's his strategy. Use that extra space to outmaneuver my opponent. And here, Emory surprises me a little bit. I think a lot of players would play c5 here. Meaning that's kind of my first inclination. It looks like the natural move to me. But Emory plays f6. Attacking the front of the pawn chain instead of the rear. That's interesting. Very interesting. What are you up to, E.T.? Yeah, Emory Tate's initials were E.T., so we'd like to joke that his moves were sometimes out of this world. Maybe we'll see an out of this world move in this game. Maybe we will. It's quite common to find just really outstanding, brilliant chess in Emory Tate's games. I mean, he would play brilliant chess moves very often. Okay. So white moves their knight out to the rim. And this is to prevent black from playing c5, right? And it gives this bishop more scope. And maybe, I don't think so. I don't think you want to go there with your knight, because then this knight would take, and then pawn takes, and then black has a protected passed pawn. So I don't think you would want to play knight c5. Let's see. And Emory, of course, does not. He takes. And white takes. Now, black has what we call a hanging pawn structure. And this is the weak pawn. But Emory's dragon bishop is not too effective against the structure right now, right? So things are getting a little interesting. But this is where Emory excels as a chess player. Wow. I just saw his next move. Yeah, this is where he excels as a chess player. Kapow. Queen comes out and is now threatening d4 and hanging out. It comes out with pizzazz, shall we say, right? It's Over on the king side, the king is already missing one of its pawn shields, and he's threatening d4. So now Robert needs to make sure he doesn't lose d4. What's he going to do? Ah, bishop threatens rook. Interesting. Interesting. I think we're going to see some pretty exciting stuff. Let's see. Oh my! I see some tactics. I wonder if I'm spotting something that Emory's going to play. We'll find out. I'm looking at this bishop takes move right now, because you'd be. It's like, yeah, they could go ahead and take with check, but you're threatening down there on h2. It looks quite powerful. Let's see. He does not. Oh my goodness! Out of this world chess. Out of this world. We will look at Emory's move, and maybe if there's time, we'll go back and look at bishop takes e5, and then I think white would just play dx e5, and then queen takes b4. I think that, because you're playing off this pin, right? That was my inclination. But see, I play pretty good. I play pretty good chess, right? But Emory Tate could play some moves that were just out of this world, and you're about to see what I was talking about. Watch this. What is going on there? What is going on with bishop to e2? What is he doing? This one's really out there. What is Emory doing here? Okay, well, obviously he's threatening the queen, right? And if the queen takes, he's not just using the pin like I was. He's setting up a fork. Right? Very good job, Mr. Josko. Yes, he's removing the guard is what we like to call this. A term I first saw in Fred Reinfeld's book on tactics. Fred Reinfeld has a great tactic book that he put out, 1001 Tactics, and they're broken up into categories. And there's a whole chapter on removing the guard. So this is removing the guard. Where can this queen go and still be guarding d4? Let's see what Robert comes up with. Queen d2. I think that was the smart move. So the queen is threatening b4. I'm sorry, defending b4. There I go, having echo in my headphones again. It confuses my mind a little bit sometimes. Queen's defending b4, stepping out of the threat. So an extra defender to b4, which was undefended, stepping out of the threat of the bishop and still defending d4. Very importantly. All right. Oh, man. Removing the guard. This could be a lesson in removing the guard. Watch this, guys. I am just blown away by Emory here. I'm used to being... I'm getting goosebumps looking at this game right now. I'm getting emotional looking at this game. We're coming up on his birthday. And I don't think I've ever looked at this game in detail. This is incredible chess we're seeing here. All right, so the bishop goes to remove the guard, right? Because if the queen takes the bishop, then you're going to lose that. It's going to be a check, and then the bishop, and yeah, bad stuff. Queen steps up. Remove the guard again. He's like, come and take. No, he can't take. It's not one of those remove the guards, right? Because, yeah, silly Chris, what are you? You're getting too excited now. But, I mean, the queen has very limited places to go now. Very limited. Yes, Chris, queens do go backwards. And Robert finds, like, the square, right? The perfect square. Queen to c3. So he is defending very well. He's not being baited into taking, as Lucifer Lannister said. He's not being baited into taking the bishop on e2, losing a center pawn with check and then losing a bishop. He's not falling for that. But he's holding on with a shoestring. Let's see what Emory does now. Really? Really? There are so many possibilities I see here. Like, you could just simply play bishop takes f3 and then just start winning the game. But Emory isn't just winning, he's playing another masterpiece. He plays rook takes f3. Rook takes f3. Wow. And why would he trade his rook knowing that the knight can come out and threaten the queen? Why would he do that? Anybody know? Anybody see? Why would he do that? I mean, this is what Robert does. Now his queen's under attack. What do you think? Because then when you play bishop takes f3, is this queen going to take here? If it does, it's not guarding d4 anymore. Are you going to take with your pawn and open up your pawn shield? That doesn't seem very wise. Robert does not have very many good options here. He takes with the pawn though. So he's holding firm. His queen is basically, Emory has relegated his queen into being a pawn. See? White's queen is basically a pawn. This is not what you want your queen to do. You don't want your queen glued to a pawn. Your queen is a $9 piece. It's a valuable attacking piece. And it is glued to the pawn. So here, I mean, there's like a lot of different moves you could play, right? And still be doing fine. But one of them seems pretty obvious, and Emory plays it, and that is bishop f4. So you're threatening h2 twice now, right? It's very, very dangerous. You created this weakness, and so white doesn't have a pawn that they could try and interpose with, because you created a hole in their pawn shield. Oh, but watch this, guys. Robert says enough. I cannot possibly win by defending. He takes on c6, forking the knight and rook. Has Emory Tate missed something? Or is he going to be okay? Well, I mean, first of all, I might just play rook f8, because if you lose the knight, that's okay, because you're still going to get check and attack. But you can't lose your rook with check. That is what you cannot afford to do. But this is not what Emory did. Emory played bishop e3 check. Rook d8 is also a possibility, but then, yeah, rook d8 is also a possibility for sure, right? Let me go back and look just to make sure. Rook d8, you're guarding the 8th rank, and the queen is defending the rook, so it seems fine to me. I mean, this queen could go here, and then your queen is glued to defending it, but it's all right, because you're threatening with check, right? So yeah, rook d8 would work fine. I'm more interested in delivering a checkmate down here, and so that's why I was suggesting rook f8, because then you're getting your rook involved in the attack on the king. Yeah, no problem. All right, so bishop e3 check. So white can't take a rook if they're in check. King goes to h1. This is not what you want to do, but I mean, you can't like go wandering out this way, right? You just get checkmated. So you have to go in the corner. Not where the king wants to be. And now Emory plays Queen h3 is what he plays. He does, yeah, Queen h3. And what is he threatening? Checkmate. Checkmate like this. He's like, go ahead and take my rook. I will advance my king. And then my knight is guarding f8. So if queen takes a rook, then king f7. And then you're out of checks. You're out of luck, buddy. Of course, there's also queen takes e6, right? But then queen takes e6. Remember, queens do go backwards, right? Chris likes to forget this sometimes. I did earlier in the broadcast. And then I guess the only way to avoid the checkmate would be, unfortunately, to come back here, queen c2. Then if queen takes f3, you can block, right? Maybe that's the other line. But again, if queen takes a8, then king goes to f7 or g7. But f7's better. F7's better because there's less checks. Okay. So let's see what happens. What does Robert do? Why, Robert resigns here. He resigns. Yeah, I do. I will post this to my Daily Chess Musings YouTube channel. I will post this to my Daily Chess Musings channel on YouTube. I have 2,000 subscribers, 2,040 or something subscribers. Thanks for the nice compliments, guys. So yeah, go like and subscribe to the Daily Chess Musings channel on YouTube. Go find our Daily Chess Musings club on chess.com. It's free. We've got 2,000 plus members in our club. It's an active club, lots of fun. Follow me on Twitch. Find me any which way. dailychessmusings.com. How can I forget to mention how it all started? I started a blog 15 years ago, chessmusings.wordpress.com. And during the pandemic, I decided to upgrade the blog. I got really sick with that first alpha variation of coronavirus, and I decided to upgrade my blog to Daily Chess Musings, right? It's actually a terrible user name, domain name, right? It's not short, simple, and snappy. But I knew with content that I put out, sure enough, in time, the right people would find it and subscribe. So yeah, I've got like 1,500 something subscribers to my blog as well. And then the YouTube channel is also called Daily Chess Musings. It's got 2,000 something subscribers because I put out really interesting content, free stuff all the time. When I'm teaching classes, I use my blog as like a notepad for my lessons, so I have it later on. I don't keep any secrets. I post it all, and it's all free. There are thousands of free lessons, thousands, on dailychessmusings.com. You can check it out. But this is the first time. You won't find this game there because this is the first time I've shown it. So you will not find this game. And it was a real beauty. Again, there's just nothing. This queen takes f3. No good way of stopping it, right? I mean, you could go queen c2, like I said, but then you're just trading queens and down, and yeah, it's. In fact, it could be even. Yeah. But you know what? Let's go ahead and just. I drew arrows. The queen takes a8 check, and then, like I said, you go king f7, right? And then what are they going to do? What are they going to do? See, the problem is you can't play rook f1 to defend this pawn because the queen would just take it, right? So that doesn't work. You got no other way of defending this pawn. It's just beautiful, beautiful game by the late great Emory Tate. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for my birthday special. I didn't realize I would show an Emory Tate game. I thought the simul would take all the time there was. And I'm really glad I did get to share the Emory Tate game with you guys, though. He was a very good friend of mine. If you like Emory Tate, you Google or search him on Daily Chess Musings, and you'll see photos of him at my chess camps with me. Other games of his, not this one. This one's fresh. I haven't shown this, and I highly recommend. Let me see if I can get the book off my shelf here without creating a catastrophe. Actually, I got this copy over here, so I highly recommend this book right here. Triple Exclaim by Daim Shabazz. Got his name pronounced right. Professor Daim Shabazz. And there's just so much good stories and content in here. And he reached out to me and a lot of Emory's other friends to get the information. He talked to us in length in telephone calls to get the stories, to fill in. So if you can find a copy of Triple Exclaim by Daim Shabazz. Shabazz is how he pronounces his last name. I always get his first name. How can I get the last name right always and the first name? But Professor Shabazz did an incredible job. It was personal to him, and he did a great job on that book. Having said all of this, please make sure to subscribe to my follow us on Twitch. I'm at 80 followers. I'd love to get up to 100 for my birthday. That would be wonderful. Go check out the YouTube channel. Like and subscribe it there. Go check out dailychessmusings.com. Thousands of free lessons. And join our free chess club on chess.com. My name is Chris Torres. This has been a Daily Chess Musings special birthday simul and lesson. See you next time. Bye.